Good evening to today's live feed, day I don't even know which of coronavirus isolation. So this is the third feed of today. We do morning Qigong, lunchtime meditation, and in the evenings we do bedtime with Brindle. And the evening sessions really are a combination of me going through my evening gua sha routine to talk to you about the amazing benefits of gua sha, which can just not only be fantastic for your beauty, but also for your health, and in particular to immunity, which is something that I'm talking about a lot at the moment because it's something that all of us need to take responsibility for right now. So that's this evening's feed. If anybody has questions to ask me, then do please fire away. So I'm going to have a loose direction of what I want to talk to you about this evening, but I'm more than happy to answer any kind of health questions that have arisen for you today. So I think just to kind of get a mood of what's been going on at the moment, obviously poor Boris Johnson's now been declared as somebody who's now suffering from the coronavirus. So something I thought about this evening when I heard about that was that that's probably incited quite a lot of fear amongst us as kind of members of the public. You think, God, is like anyone immune from this? Not to mention that often we hear in the press people sort of saying, oh, you know, somebody 45 has now died and had no known problems with their health. And the problem is we will read that and think, oh my goodness, oh, I look so healthy. Well, thank you. Well, that's the gua sha, to be honest, because there's nothing else holding it together right now. It's doing the Qigong in the morning and the meditations and the gua sha. That's what does the trick. But I think one of the problems that we have in the West is that we don't really understand our bodies very well. And this is where Eastern medicine is just so brilliant, okay, because it gives you this incredible insight into the subtleties and the subtle mechanics as to how the body works. So I promise you that if a Western doctor would state that somebody has no underlying problems with their health, I absolutely promise you that an Eastern doctor would beg to differ, okay? And that is not discrediting Western medicine in any shape or form, because Western medicine is absolutely brilliant, but Eastern medicine really does understand the subtleties and the nuances of our bodies. And we specialize in prevention. So when you're specializing in prevention, gua sha, how much pressure do you add under the eye? Pressure under the eye, I normally use the precision. So I'm going to answer questions and keep talking about Eastern medicine, okay? How about that? So something I noticed when I did the feedback last night was as I took my makeup off on the camera, it looked absolutely horrendous. So I'm going to spare you that this evening, and I'm just going to put oil on over my face. Okay, I'll take it off later. When you're applying pressure under the eye, if you're using the normal body restorer, the beauty restorer, you just kind of glide it gently like this, but always make sure that you've got oil on your skin first, okay? And then the best tool of all for under the eye is the precision, like this. You just do gently. Okay, so let me go back to the topic that I was talking about, which is basically Eastern medicine really does have prevention nailed, okay? And right now is the time to honour and respect our amazing Western doctors and nurses and everything, and our volunteers, and everything that everyone is doing for us right now in this unprecedented time. But we, as the British public, owe it. What I'm going to do whilst I'm talking, by the way, I'm just going to demo, okay, for you. So you can just watch what I'm doing. You don't need me to tell you to press stroke. It's obvious. So look, I'm just doing this with the tool, okay? But we owe it to the members of the medical profession to look after ourselves. I mean, we do. This country is in unprecedented times, and we know that our NHS service is stretched. So the key to this is to look after our immunity, because you see, strong immune systems deal with diseases already. Oh, you got your Restore and you love it. I love it too. Yay, I'm so pleased. The Beauty Restore is amazing. It's my favourite thing. It's normally the entry point to the brand. But right now, I'm just talking about gua sha full stop, okay, because it's just so good. And also remember, actually, let me put some oil there, that you must, when you're using your Beauty Restore right now, it is imperative to deal with your neck, okay? It's really important. So the topic for this evening is all about immunity and all about prevention, okay, and all about trying to take the weight off the healthcare workers as best we possibly can by looking after ourselves as much as we possibly can. And to do that, you need to look after your immune system. And to look after your immune system is, number one, download the fact sheet, which I've written for you. And number two, just pop onto these feeds and ask me questions. But the basic thing that you need to do for your immune system is gua sha. Okay, gua sha has been proven in multitude of scientific tests to strengthen the immune system. Okay, the main reason is not only are you press stroking these important lymphatic areas, you've got tonsils here, okay, going into big lymphatic areas in the clavicle here, and then down in the groin down here. And what you'll find with the 3 sort of system of live feeds that I'm offering you at the moment is we are covering your immune system every day, okay? In the morning, we're doing Qigong, which allows the immune cells to flow freely through the body. That optimizes them, okay? That's the first thing. In the lunchtime, we're meditating, okay? And if any of you haven't yet watched the meditations, come and join us, okay? It's a really, really simple meditation, which I do with you. And it's really easy to follow and it's lovely. And being in a meditative state is really important for the immune system, okay? Meditation stops the stress response. Stress is really bad for immunity. Stress creates inflammation in the body. Inflammation is really bad for immunity. So meditation is brilliant for multiple reasons. We cover that at lunchtime. And then in the evening now, with this evening routine, we just talk, okay? You can ask me any questions. And we talk about the benefits of what I'm doing for immunity, but also largely I'm demonstrating to you gua sha. And specifically, yes, I'm showing you the beauty routine right now. Okay, this is what I'm doing to my skin morning and night every day. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, do the meditate. The meditation's brilliant. It's all up there for you, okay? I mean, honestly, I love it. I'm just going into a complete kind of, God, it feels like I'm on just the best retreat ever right now. So the meditation is great. And then in the evening, we're working on your beauty with these lovely crystals, but we're also working on the immunity here, okay? By working on the neck, which is a really important area here. You can go around the back of the neck here. Really important to gua sha the neck at the moment. And if any of you, what do I think about facial cupping? I personally prefer gua sha. That's why I don't have facial cups in my toolkit, and nor do I have rollers. Rollers because they fall apart and therefore they're a waste of money and they squeak. And anyway, if you want to use a roller, you can do this with your gua sha tool, and your gua sha tool won't fall apart or squeak, which means it's pleasurable to use and will last you a lifetime, which means you don't have to... you don't have to replace it, which means less damage to the environment. And also facial cups are made of plastic, which we don't really like. So everything in my brand is all about natural products, and you get exactly the same effect from doing gua sha, because all you're doing with any of these practices, well, from cupping or gua sha, is you're drawing the circulation up to the surface of the skin. And that's why body gua sha works just as well. Body gua sha is the equivalent of cupping, but you can do it for yourself. So you don't need all this stuff. That's the key thing. I think there's a few things that we're learning right now, isn't it? You know, that we all know that we've got to change our ways. We all know that, you know, the way that modern culture has taken us isn't sustainable. We all know this, but we're all wondering what to do. And then all of a sudden in comes this horrendous killer virus, which has basically stopped us all in our tracks. And we're all sort of sat here at home wondering what on earth to do. Well, the first thing to do is to go with that, because there's nothing else we can do, and use this opportunity to learn, and to go inwards and to learn things about changing our ways. Yes, it is normal. If you've overdone it, let me show you, right? I'm going to just bring up, if you, see, I'm doing gua sha now really gently, okay? I'm just literally bringing up a gentle flush on my skin, which you can see me doing, okay? It's just a nice flush, right? But here, so I get a little tension patch here in my head, right? So I know that if I go there a bit more, and press, and it feels amazing. It's this kind of relief, and it's all connected to that wrinkle. Look at that. Up it goes there, okay? And the reason what I'm doing is I'm pulling it out and easing the tension, and that is going to make that go deeper red, and that could still stay there in the morning, and that's totally okay. Here's from yesterday. Look, that was the gua sha that I did last night, and I did it on purpose. I wanted to show you kind of like that's deep sha, okay, and that's gone to a very gentle bruise, which is healing, okay, and that will go. By tomorrow, that will have completely gone. But when you do the face, if you've got a little bit of red like that, that's totally okay. It will go in a day, and if it hasn't gone quite in the morning, just put some cover up on it, and it will go down. And what you're doing with this press stroking is you're heightening, with this redness, you're heightening the levels of circulation into the area. You're creating a very microscopic level of damage, just like microdermabrasion, okay? It's exactly the same principle, but it feels really nice. So you might just have needed to give yourself a little bit more downtime. Now, some people's skin is, of course, more fragile than others. So you don't want to, if you're one of these people with very sort of papery skin and you're just feeling that it's quite sensitive, just go very, very gently. Often if you've got mature or sensitive skin, I personally quite like the light. Do you send your items? Yes, we do. We sell in the USA. We've got free worldwide shipping at the moment, over £50. So we've got that kind of covered off for you at the moment. And if that's not live on the website, will you just direct message me and I'll make sure it goes up for you. So basically on sensitive skin, I personally go with the light. You can see the difference. Okay, there's the light, there's the normal, there's the light. Okay, it's slimmer. And the reason why it's slimmer is it's really good for a more extended gua sha treatment. And also the light is a very good one to take you down into body gua sha. How face and neck? Well, I personally gua sha in the evening for about 10 minutes. And at the moment specifically, because we've got time to self-care, and we really need to be looking after ourselves, we can sort of take the rush off a bit, because in normal days, you know, we're all rushing around all the time, aren't we? But right now, you know, you've got time to kind of look after yourself in the evening, you know, because we've been in all day, we haven't had to commute and stuff. So just give yourself these sort of 10 minutes to really honour your beauty. And I promise you, you will start, what you'll notice when you first do it is that you'll look like you've had a really good night's sleep, or like a fresh country walk. One friend of mine, her friend thought she'd taken a lover. I know, how exciting was that? Sadly for her, she hadn't. She just discovered gua sha. But anyway, that was the effect, that kind of gorgeous glow that you get afterwards. And that's what you can see on my skin now. It's just making it just kind of come alive. And that's what's so exciting. So I've got hair on myself. And that's what's so exciting about why gua sha works. So I'm just working with the slim. I know, it's true, she did. She thought she had a lover. She didn't. She didn't need a lover. She said, I don't need a lover. I've got gua sha instead. I'm way more original. I've got the original Beauty Restore today. I have sensitive skin. Should I have got the thinner? No, you'll be absolutely fine. The thing is, we've got kind of nuanced tools, okay? And the original Beauty Restorer, let me go back to it. Absolutely brilliant. It is the entry point to the brand, okay? This is the one that's won all the awards, okay? It's won so many awards. I swear to you, it's won more awards than the Touche Eclat ever did, or any of those iconic beauty tools. I mean, we've won about 12 awards on this thing now. And the reason why is because this is the perfect tool to get you started, okay? It's really good for all skins. I'm just being super picky because we're on a feed. This is the tool that I use, okay? I mean, I have all the tools, obviously. There are some perks to running this business, but basically this Beauty Restorer is perfect in the shower in the morning, and you can go easily into a 10-minute treatment with this. I'm just with the light, it's just if you really, really want to pick through it. I use the light for an hour. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the light is really good if you really want to be doing you're doing it with me, good. So I mean, there's not a great deal of difference, to be honest, and I think it's ultimately with these tools, what's good is that you kind of start with one, okay? You start with your entry point. You listen to me talking, and, you know, come on, this time yesterday, I was talking about a jam jar lid, for goodness sake. And you get your one crystal and you start with it. And then what happens is you realise that you just simply don't need all this other stuff. You just don't. You don't need all these things that are being sold all the time. What you need is yourself. Okay, you need to do the rescue breath that we're doing at lunchtime because you need well oxygenated blood. You need to do Qigong because you need to keep your organs strong, because beauty is the exterior manifestation of interior health, and your health is governed by your organs. And then you just want to tend to your skin. You're using a soup spoon. That's fine. You just use your soup spoon. Okay, let's move to the soup spoon. Okay, because the soup spoon is a good starting point for people. Okay. And then what you'll find with the tools is that you'll start with whichever restorer you chose, whether it's the original or the light or the rose quartz, and then you'll just get into this world that I'm talking to you about, because all of these tools are useful. All of them have their place in your beauty kit. And what you just do is you just start with one and then just sort of slowly but surely just experiment your way through. Can I use the jade with other than the oil because it broke me out? Yes, okay, you can. What I do is I often start the whole process using water. So I use the jade crystal in the shower in the morning, just with water. And then I will I'll use it. You can use it with a serum. The only thing I don't really find it works with is moisturiser. It goes really sort of sticky and it doesn't really work. So I personally find that using it with oil or water or serum tends to do the trick. So I'm just showing you here, just with the spoon, just a very simple heavier pressure, which is creating the char. Now, what's interesting about this area of the face is that in Chinese face reading, this bit up at the top here is all related to the kidneys. And this was taking me to the topic that I was going to meander into if no one asked me any questions, which is what's going on right now is that we are feeling the emotion of fear. I mean, we're turning on the news and otherwise seemingly healthy people are all sort of, dropping like flies, and we're sort of inevitably thinking, is that going to be me next? And the reality is that is going to show in our face, because the fear element or the fear energy is contained. The cleanser in the shower, yes, that's good, absolutely. With the beauty restorer, you can definitely use any kind of water shower, kind of face washy type thing, but you want the water kind of on your face, okay? So that's why the shower is good. So the energy of fear or the emotion of fear is in Chinese medicine contained in the kidneys, okay? And what happens is when that reflects on the face, that's up here, and it's also under the eyes, and it's also under the chin. So if you've got any of those kind of beauty issues whereby, the breakout, yes, the breakout could very easily be because you're now moving the toxins around. It's quite normal to get spots when you first start gua sha, but not badly. And if you're going to get them, now is a really good time. So yes, it could have been that too. But if you're not sure, just start using it in the shower, okay? I'm just going to go back to a crystal because whilst I'm very happy to tell people that you can use a soup spoon, it's quite nice to use the real thing. So I'm just going to do two now. So let me go back to fear. Okay, so I've meandered off answering the question. So the bottom line is that the kidneys are responsible for the emotion of fear. So if we are feeling fearful, that is having a direct effect on the energy of our kidneys, and that will weaken them because it's a negative energy, and it will show in our face. So the kidneys will show here and here and here. So if you have drooping jowls or bags under the eyes or anything kind of like sagging up here, then that's basically a sure sign for us when we're face reading that there's an issue with the kidneys. And so it's a very important thing right now to really pay special attention to our kidneys, okay? Because every time we're turning on the news, it's going to initiate some kind of sensation of fear. And the easiest thing that you can do for your kidneys is when I talk to patients and I talk about this, they all go, oh, I need to drink more water. I think actually you don't. The thing that kidneys want more than anything else is rest. Rest. They get clobbered by over taxation, which is just, and with our always on lifestyles that we've got, that's the problem. So the antidote for all of this negativity, which will show in your face, okay, is the smiling breath meditation, which we will do every morning before we start the Qigong at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tomorrow, and every lunchtime, normally at 12:30, but tomorrow at 1:30, where I teach you the smiling breath and take you into an extended meditation. And the best possible thing you can do for your kidneys is that exercise. And then if you combine that with this lovely kind of sculpting of this gua sha crystals, can you see that? I mean, I love it. I love the way my skin does this for me just when I'm naturally talking to you. It just behaves itself because it works and because it's the truth. But ultimately, this is what you want to do. The reason I created the Hey You method was because it is indeed a method. There is no such thing as like one silver bullet to all of these problems, okay? It's not true to think that it is. Yes, Qigong is very good at night and in the morning. Qigong is just brilliant all round. What you do with Qigong is when you do it at night time, you do it slowly and you just slow down the movements. Okay. When you do it in the morning, we normally kind of like do slightly more waking up, but the movements are the same. Okay. It's just about taking the energy into a very slow place and to take the breathing really slowly when you do it. I mean, I'm very happy to do an evening Qigong one evening. At the moment, we're doing gua sha in the evening, but I'm very happy to do whatever you want, actually. This time is yours. This is the time to ask questions. Which tool am I using now? Right now, this is the original Beauty Restorer, okay? And I'm using two. I don't know why I'm doing this, actually. I didn't exactly prescribe this evening. All I wanted to talk to you about tonight, I thought, in addition to answering questions, was fear and the effect of fear on our kidneys. Okay, the interesting thing about Chinese medicine is it's all about the subtleties of the body. Okay, that's why it's so powerful, because that kind of Western thing where we go, oh, it's nothing, and then we wait until it becomes like a major problem, and then we go to the doctors, and then off we go down into the roots of whatever it is. Yes, it is very nice and cooling. You can hold the jade like this, by the way, if you have. Oh, you're in Australia. Hello, Australia. Oh, I feel like I'm doing the Eurovision Song Contest, except globally. Hello, Australia. Welcome to our morning gua sha. Just do the same thing, basically, that I'm doing now, morning and evening. I do the same. Okay, now where was I? Right, so Chinese medicine is all about subtlety. And there is no such thing as, oh, it's nothing, okay, in Chinese medicine. We are looking always for any kind of signs and symptoms of any imbalance, okay? So if it's anything other than optimum health, there's an imbalance. And the theory being, by the Chinese masters, and they are indeed correct, that the sooner you rectify a low-level sign and symptom, it won't get a foothold in the body, which means it won't become a bigger problem. And this is why we need to pay attention to a bad night's sleep, or a migraine, or a headache, or a breakout, or tension, or pain, or stress levels, or bad diet, or weight gain. Any of these low-level signs and symptoms, loss of libido, a period problem, these are signs and symptoms that your body is out of balance. And what we then recognise is that your body is basically governed by the 12 key organs, which are basically in relationship to one another. But largely, it's a bit like a game of chess. There's a hierarchy, and there's 5 key organs, okay, which are the most dominant ones. I.e., if you lost your kidneys or liver, you would be dead. But for example, you could London Hair Extension Company. Hello, sorry, that's Pip, who, by the way, saves my hair. Thank you so much. My hair is dreadful. No, thanks to her, it isn't. But basically, there are 5 key organs essential to the health of your body, and they are the most important. So they are the lung, the liver, the heart, the spleen, and the kidney. Okay, and I'm so glad it's the highlight of your day. It's the highlight of my day. I love doing this. These 5 key organs are responsible for everything in your body, okay? Your emotional health, your physical health, your spiritual health, everything has a relationship to these organs. So in our medicine, the kidneys are responsible, yes, for filtering urine, as they are in the West, but they're also responsible for the aging process, for fertility, for the bones, for good hair. There's probably other things, but I can't remember. Oh, for the emotion of fear, and for the higher spiritual purpose of wisdom and cultivating wisdom, whilst we proceed through our lives in the aging process, is bizarre middle back pain. Yes, that absolutely could be your kidneys. It's probably because you're frightened. Like the entire world. I mean, we're all sitting in our houses, kind of peering out, wondering if it's going to get us next. I mean, it's horrible. And that fear has a direct impact on our kidneys. So it's very important to look after them. Okay, the first thing is to do what we call emotional alchemy. Really interesting topic, which I was going to talk about this morning and ran out of time. Emotional alchemy is all about replacing the negative emotion with a positive higher emotion. So the human emotion is fear, okay, and that's not a nice emotion, and it's a horrible feeling, and it's what we're feeling now. And what the masters teach us to do is to transcend that emotion and transcend it with wisdom. And the wise person applies wisdom to this situation, which is what you can do is strengthen your immune system and look after the health of your body as much as you possibly can. Okay, and yes, that's about gua shaing our face for beauty, but actually it's about having an integrated approach to our health. And that is what Chinese medicine has only ever preached to us. It's just that none of us knew it was saying it because it's never completely fully come into this country, into the zeitgeist, which is really what I'm all about. I'm just an entry point into this amazing world of of insight into how the human body works. And it's really, really interesting. I remember when I discovered it, I was just absolutely blown away, literally blown away. It was just the most inspiring thing I'd ever discovered, and literally keeps me going in life. I mean, it's my whole reason of being. It's why I'm delighted to do these feeds and draw you in on this magical world of healthcare that none of us knew anything about. We all thought that Chinese medicine was kind of acupuncture and herbs, and it's all a bit weird. And you only went there if you tried everything else. I mean, I was an acupuncturist for many years before I'm now on Instagram doing what I do. And the number of times patients would say to me, "Oh, well, I've tried everything for the 3 pages of notes I'd just taken." And but so my friend said, "Why don't you try acupuncture?" What about the nose area? Is that because, are we looking for sinuses, Sabrina? What is it you're after? Just let me start going with a little light, and you can tell me what you want me to do. So basically, it's the most amazing thing. It's not all acupuncture and herbs. It's not the last resort. Actually, if you know what you're doing, which is my job to teach it to you, it's the first resort. You can do it all for yourself, because the absolute root of Chinese medicine is prevention, not cure. Oh, hay fever. Okay, so it's prevention, not cure. So it's when you're dealing with prevention, not cure, we're not getting in the way of Western medicine. We're not curing anything. We're talking to you about how to manage your health and keep yourself well. Okay, we say in Chinese medicine, a drop of prevention is better than cure. Yes, you can totally gua sha the nose. Because I get these lines here, I'm obsessed with these lines here, okay? These I love these. These are my glamour lines now, because I used to have Botox and now I don't, because I do this. So I'm constantly taking the gua sha right down my nose here, because there's a whole meridian that goes up your nose. It goes all the way like that, all the way over here. It's like the basic circuit of the body. So I always have a good old go on my nose. I used Chinese medicine, acupuncture, so 20 years ago. It was amazing. It is amazing, but it's not just about acupuncture. Acupuncture is just one modality of this amazing system. Hay fever lady, I have a fact sheet on hay fever. In brief, basically follow the Heiyu method I'm teaching you, which is Qigong in the morning, meditation at lunchtime, gua sha at night, and always make sure you're gua shaing your chest, okay? Hay fever is largely to do with inflammation, managing its sort of ending up in the chest. And what's happening is, as the pollen then increases, your whole body is over-inflamed and overwhelmed. So that's why you use gua sha, because gua sha clears inflammation. So go to the immunity fact sheet, do everything I'm saying for immunity, and by practicing gua sha, you're hitting the inflammation at the same time. So if anyone's got anything kind of which is basically an inflammatory related disease, of which hay fever is one, use the comb in the shower, use your tapper, which I haven't got to hand, I'm afraid, sorry. But you know what they are, look on the Heiyu website. So use your tapper every day, comb in the shower every day, gua sha your chest every day, and make sure you're doing these Qigong movements I'm teaching in the morning, which are focusing largely on twisting around the middle, which is what we want to do. And also, of course, the all-important meditation, because it's very important for all of us, no matter what, to keep our bodies in a relaxed state. So I think that's probably enough for today's feed. My poor husband, who's not really seen me all week, is starting to claim he's got coronavirus. I think he's after some sympathy. But I will be back in the morning it's going to be, no, you cannot go over moles on the body. I mean, I've got like bits of freckles and stuff. Those are okay. Like, like that sort of thing is fine. But kind of if you've got large moles, they are a contraindication. If you have a look at the body gua sha tool on the website, it will give you any contraindications, which is like broken skin, kind of if you're on warfarin or blood thinning, there are a few contraindications. And if that is the case for you, don't worry, use the tapper and just go lightly and gently for a longer period of time. And use the Qigong exercises and the breath exercises to strengthen up the body. So thank you all so much. Such lovely messages and notes. I'm so happy and proud that you're joining me. Please show us how to use the comb in the shower. Oh, okay, that's going to be my last thing. Wait there, I'm going to get a comb. Hang on. Okay, comb in the shower. So this is your Hey comb. And what I do is in the shower, which I'm not going to get my clothes off and stand there for you, but you have to just pretend. You basically, depending where your wobbly bits are, is you use the comb. So let's say it's back of the arms. You just take the comb and you just literally comb the body. Now you don't rub, you comb. And this is a really good exercise for absolutely everyone. It's very good to hit this arc here. Look, ready? Down there, side of the boobs, into the waist. That, okay? This is really, really good. You want to make sure you're keeping this area clear and the sides of the boobs clear, okay? So this is really good shower combing exercise. Then the abdomen, what I tend to do is because the body kind of does that, I go around. So I'm going like this on the abdomen around the sides, like that. Then I go upwards from the lower belly, like just this middle bit here. What we're doing is following the energetic pathways. Did you say no gua sha at all with blood thinners? It is a contraindication. I'd need to know if you could just direct message me, just so I know what you're doing and what's going on, okay? In general, gua sha is contraindicated if you're on blood thinners, but that's not always the case, okay? So just let me know, just message me on Instagram, just via the private feed, and I'll have a look and let you know, okay? And don't worry, because tapping has the same effect as gua sha, it's just gentler, okay? So you'll still get the benefits. And then for legs, which is my favourite, I literally take the comb and I'm going down the outside of the legs like this, like this. I'm not rubbing, I'm going one like this, okay? And I go all over my bum and then up the inside of the legs. Oh, it feels so good, even through clothes. Any retreat, workshop, etc. Actually, well, we were going to do some retreats. I think we're on retreat, aren't we? I think this is a retreat. Maybe I should retitle it and just say this is virtual retreat for free. Yay, all you have to do is join me and share the love. So hopefully, sorry lady that needed the comb, even doing it through clothing works, okay? Combing is amazing for cellulite, for heavy legs, for just aching legs, anything like that. Retreats, okay, retreats. Well, I tell you what we are going to do is once we're finally allowed back out again, I was going to do a talk. I was going to do like a workshop, like a day workshop type thing, which I think would be amazing. So I might do a few of those if you'd like, but let's do this first. And there's an awful lot you can learn anyway. So if you're interested, which I think you are, so good, I'm so glad because I was too. The book, in the first instance, the immunity fact sheet, okay, that is available on the live feed, on the link in bio, and sorry, it's because my lovely hairdresser's texting me. You have a lovely evening tea, Pip. Anyone want hair? She's amazing. So basically, there is the immunity fact sheet, which is linked in the bio. That's free. Okay, all of these feeds are free. If you need to have any specific help, message me and I will do my very best to help you. Sabrina, thank you from Dubai. That's so kind. Sabrina stocks our products. Thank you, Sabrina. And then, of course, we have the book, which is all the information. The book's amazing, if I say so myself, because everything that I'm talking to you about is in my book, okay? I just bring it to life here. And then, of course, it's all supported with the free stuff that you do, which is basically your jam jar lid and your soup spoon, okay? And any old oil that you've got knocking about your bathroom cupboard. That is how you start. With tapping, you just do it with your wrists and your fists like this. But, of course, inevitably, you're going to want to progress onto something sort of slightly nicer. And that's where the Hey You method comes in with all its lovely tools. But the most important thing is the knowledge. And remember that whilst our kidneys are suffering from fear and all the negativity of that, the transcendent emotion of that is wisdom. And wisdom is what Chinese medicine will offer you in spades. And it's not just me talking about it. There are loads of amazing Chinese masters out there who will impart all sorts of fabulous information. Most of whom, well, not most, many of the really good ones that have taught me are all in the back of my book with further reading. But I'm a good starting point, okay? I seem to be able to sort of start at the entry point to the Aladdin's cave and kind of lure you all in and go, oh, come over here, there's a party, it's all so fab and interesting. I keep rereading your book, it's a great resource. Yes, thank you, I love it too. It took a long time to write because I needed to make it simple. Anyway, I think that's more than enough before my husband divorces me. I will see you all in the morning. Remember, it's at 9 o'clock tomorrow, not 8. So we're all having a bit of a lie-in for the morning yoga. All the tools. Oh, thank you so much. Well, thank you for buying the tools because it keeps my team in a job, which they're very grateful for, let me assure you. And have a wonderful evening. Good night. Remember, wisdom, not fear. And I will see you in the morning for morning Qigong. Good night.